today we're playing Arena Breakout Infinite. I was going to play SP Tarkov for the first video and for the first like section stint of this channel, Xfil Station, but updating the game and updating SP Tarkov ended up breaking all the mods and stuff wasn't working correctly. So we're going to go with Arena Breakout Infinite.
The north-south railway running through Morelos was the target of yet another strike.
Tavilla doesn't have the capability to...
If I could have it any other way, I would have done SP Tarkov first, but I think Arena Breakout Infinite is fun and immersive enough to play, and we'll see how far we get in this because it does have pay-to-win elements. That's the only thing that pulls this game down. Otherwise, this game is
look alive.
Peak.
Let's focus on the mission. The convoy was ambushed, and we've got to figure out who's responsible.
I decided that I was going to start a brand new account because I started this game already.
Target down. We're clear.
Well done, Rook.
I started this game already on my main account for my main YouTube channel, but then I decided that I didn't want to put a bunch of different things on my main channel. I'm kind of making that decision now. I may even make more channels to spread out all of the things and like focus them more on specific game types or specific genres, and hopefully we do well there. So we're gonna take his sidearm. So from here we are playing the beginning of the game, and since I've been playing Arena Breakout a little bit, I'm getting more used to the items. I'm getting more used to this stuff we have here. Can I roll this up? I can. Cool. Getting more used to the items and getting more used to, you know, what I have to do for the missions and stuff like that. But if I could have it any way, bro, if I could have it any way, I would make my own extraction shooter where it was either a military shooter like this that looked very similar to Arena Breakout, but only have very limited amount of items to start with, no pay to win, and like the most I would have for microtransactions is like maybe like cosmetic gear and like stuff like that. They have the cases in here, but I wouldn't want that either. Just cosmetic stuff to make your character look, you know, cool or whatever, and that's pretty much it. I really don't like that the game has. Wait, what? Do I need five spaces for this? Oh, I just carry it. Yeah. Yeah, I would make it so that it just had a good economy where you basically learn the game through not having anything. You go in with like a pistol, a couple of med kits, and like some bandages, and like maybe a surgical kit, and that's it. That's all you get at the start of the game.
Keep moving.
And then you go into the map. You maybe like for the tutorial area, you don't run into anybody. You pick up a few things from in the map, teach you how to sell stuff on the market, and then they let you loose, and you can go you can go fight to your heart's content and loot to your heart's content and try not to die, and maybe it would put you, you know, it would matchmake you into buckets, kind of how the Psycho Frontier did, because I like that game. I think that was my favorite extraction shooter, and it died flat out. It would matchmake you into buckets, and so that you weren't like running into people that were like way over your like level. Like maybe I would find a way to do it so that maybe in the first couple of runs you're running into like, you know, people of the same skill level, and then later on you're kind of like on your own. So like even if you don't have the gear to be going into a map with people with like a lot of gear, you kind of got to deal with it, right? It depends. Like I would have to think about it, of course, but it would just make the experience that much more rewarding and better. The other thing that I would put in the game is also something from the Cycle Frontier is persistent maps, persistent servers. So when you go into a server, that server is already alive and kicking, right? You go in and you're like the person in there, or the people in there. Oh, I can't carry that. Too big. I'll take his dog tag though. Might already be people in the map running around looking for stuff. There might already be stuff gone. And you know, maybe, you know, there's like a storm that happens, like just like the Cycle Frontier, man. I would take a lot from the Cycle Frontier and put it in my game because I really enjoyed it. The fact that like if you stayed on there too long before you extracted, you ran into like a storm, and if the storm came down, you wouldn't be able to extract until the storm was over. It was a very heavy storm. It turned out pretty much all the lights, but you could still run around, but you couldn't stay still out in the open, or else you would get struck by like the lightning and stuff. So you didn't want to do that. So you wanted to stay moving. There was more rare stuff that you could find during the storm, like energized, charged up things. And like I would figure out a way to do all this stuff. Oh God. Okay, so my settings are not, I forgot my settings are not the same here. I gotta change this real quick.
Anyone fought one for it?
I had to change this to hold. Can I get out this way? I don't think so. But yeah, man, I would take a lot of things from it. I would just so that I could play this game. It'd be so good, bro. It would be so good. But instead, the game, I feel like in extraction shooters, I feel like they give you too many resources at the start of the game. And I'm just now like noticing that Tarkov actually gives you a bunch of stuff at the start of the game. Because I was trying to play SP Tarkov and I would do 0 to hero, because in the Cycle Frontier you really didn't get that much in the beginning. You got a few things and enough to manage, you know, yourself. And during the, you know, after the wipe, you didn't really have much. Like you had like maybe a weapon or two. I think maybe some med kits or whatever, but that was it. Like if I'm remembering correctly, because I never played Tarkov, so the hell, yeah. So since I never played Tarkov, I thought that's how the extraction shooters usually were. But come to find out, they give you a bunch of stuff. So now when you have a bunch of stuff on you in the beginning of the game, it's kind of overwhelming to understand what all the items are for, understand the value of the items and that kind of stuff, and understanding like how much stuff costs and all this other kind of stuff. So it's just like, I feel like it will be leading people in a little bit easier, but it would be more challenging at the beginning, but it will be leading you in easier so you could understand the economy and stuff like that. I feel like it's so much better. I gotta stand back here. Put the captain ID card in your backpack. Oh, did I not pick it up? Did I not? I did not. And the document. I'll take the document too. Oh, there's other stuff down here. But man, I feel like I want to make the perfect. I want to make the perfect extraction shooter. Another game that did that was that they gave you nothing at the beginning was Dark and Darker. They also gave you really nothing at the beginning except for like a weapon, and that's pretty much it. A weapon and like basic gear, and you had to make do with what you had, rather than them giving you a whole bunch of stuff and then you having to like lose it. And then they also give you a lot of they give you a lot of money, and to me 500k or $1 million. There's a lot of money to be handing you, and it ruins the feeling of having to survive. Like, and it kind of sucks. So same thing. Like, you'll see when we get in here how many items they give you. Now, I'm not claiming to be some type of, you know, expert in exfiltration and extraction shooters and stuff like that, but I like the idea of extraction shooters. It's fun. Like, it's the next thing. I feel like it's the next thing that would be like blowing up. Like back when the Cycle Frontier made their game, right, like after Tarkov made theirs, and then there was maybe one other extraction shooter, I think. It was. We're just gonna go crazy. We're gonna go crazy here. Exfilian. What are we gonna call him? Exfilian. Yeah, like back then it was only a couple of extraction shooters, and I was like,
I'm going to help you get acquainted with this place.
there were only a couple of extraction shooters back then, and I was hoping that it would be the next thing to blow up and somebody would make a really good extraction shooter. But what happened was a lot of extraction shooters got made, but none of them were like good, right? I think Arena Breakout Infinite is probably the next game that is actually it feels good as an extraction shooter. And maybe Delta Force, but Delta Force doesn't feel as good. It doesn't perform as well as this game, even though Delta Force is still like in alpha or beta or something like that. Hopefully that game comes out and it feels much better. Things feel better. But like, I would love to make my own extraction shooter, but I don't know how to make video games. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't know the first place to start. So, but yeah. In this game mode, prepare your equipment and supplies for the Dark Zone. Enter the Dark Zone and collect supplies on the map. Extract and bring out your supplies. Okay, so sounds simple, right? But when we go to storage, look how much stuff you have.
Make it out of the farm. His stuff is yours now.
No, I don't want his stuff.
The Dark Zone is easy to enter, but hard to leave. Here's a list of equipment and supplies you'll need to bring with you.
Now, they tell you what to bring with you, right? But it's just, even though, like, I feel like it's just too much. I feel like it's just too many things. It makes it feel like, okay, well, I'm always going to be ready. Because, especially in the beginning of this game, it's not very hard, right? Like, you don't really run into players. Like, you're running into bots most of the time. And if you have any type of FPS chops about you, you're not really gonna die in the first couple of raids, like, at all. You're gonna go in, you're gonna get a bunch of stuff, you're gonna bring it out, you're gonna add it to all the stuff that you already have. And instead of giving you a bunch of this stuff, they should literally just give you one, like, small gun. They give you maybe a weak helmet or something like that, small backpack, a vest, like the actual, like, not two of everything. Not even water. They shouldn't even give you water, to be honest. Maybe for the tutorial, so that you can learn that, okay, you need to drink things to keep your hydration up and stuff like that, and to keep in a bar, energy bar, to keep your stuff up. But like, that should only give you one, right? I don't even think. Oh, they do give you one biscuit, right? They give you 2 biscuits. They give you 2 of everything. No, they should only literally give you 1 of everything, so that you can at least try to use it once. And then they should not give you really any money. You should maybe have, if you're gonna give them money, give them like $5,000, or just enough to like buy some meds off the market, or buy some ammo off the market, or you know what I mean? Like, don't give people enough to just go nuts and buy all this crazy stuff. Because there are going to be people that are coming from, you know, other extraction shooter games, other shooters, other games that require you to, you know, conserve your resources. And the fact that you have $1,800,000. Before I started this account, and the last thing I did on my old account was like, I was like, all right, I have all this money. Let me go into the gunsmith and just make a gun. I can make a gun and make it whatever I want and still be good on money. It's too much. And then they also give you like rewards for finishing certain things and logging in and all this other kind of stuff. So like they give you a ton of gear that you don't have to really earn in the game. Just by playing the game, you'll naturally get a lot of gear. Now maybe that's only in the beginning stages of the game, but they give you a ton of stuff, but I still think that's bad because you'll never learn the value of the items that you have. It doesn't feel as good when you extract with a couple of things and add it to your stuff, because it's like, okay, well, I extracted with all this stuff. What am I do with it? I guess I'll just hoard it or whatever. And then you don't ever need to sell anything because you have too much money in the beginning. If you didn't have all that money, the stuff that you brought back would be more valuable because you would need to sell it in order to get med kits, get ammo, get other like surgical kits and stuff like that in order for you to keep going and go into raids prepared, right? So like the stuff that you bring out would equate to the stuff that you would go to the market and buy so that you can continue going. Like that's what I feel like it should be, rather than giving you a ton of stuff in the beginning. And then like this to me, and when I first started playing the game after not like really playing any other extraction shooters except for like the Psycho Frontier and a little bit of Tarkov, but even Tarkov did this, and I was like, dog, this is a lot of items. Like what like, and then you don't recognize all the items in the beginning because you're like, I don't know what should I take this? What gets rid of what? Do I need I need bandage, painkillers, med kits? Do I take a red med kit or a black med kit? Do I need this? What is this standard military surgical kit? What is that? Do I use bandages to patch up my arm, or do I'm supposed to use a surgical kit? How do I get rid of these icons that pop up when I get shot? Like it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. But if they only give you a couple of things, then you're gonna have to go looking. And then when you have questions and you go find the answers, it's way more rewarding to do that. Now, I've learned this kind of from Sea of Thieves, where I was playing Sea of Thieves a few days ago, and they didn't, after you do the tutorial and you load into the game, there's no HUD. There's no HUD. They don't tell you to go any certain places. They don't point to certain characters. They say you need to go and visit all the places. They don't point at all the places in a certain order or anything like that. They don't hold your hand in that game. You gotta figure it out, and figuring it out felt so good after like, oh, I'll just walk around to all the stores and talk to all the people, see what they're about. And it's not like you have to do that before you leave on your ship. You should do that so you know who's what and who sells what, and then if you need something, you can come back and get them. But then otherwise, you go out on your ship, and then they do give you some like quests and stuff that you can take, and you have to kind of stumble your way through your first quest by getting in your ship, learning how to use the map and all this other kind of stuff before you feel good that you finish your first quest. And the first quest is just going to this island with no enemies, picking up a chicken cage, grabbing a chicken from the same spot, going back to your ship and taking that chicken back to shore and dropping it off. That's all you do. But it felt so good to do it because no one held your hand. This is just too much. If you're not going to hold hands, give people less so they can deal with less, right? Like I have 4 guns. I have 4 automatic weapons. I have a ton of clips. I should only have 1 gun, like maybe AKS, one extra clip for the AKS, 2 med kits, a stack of painkillers, a bandage, a surgical kit, a helmet and a vest, and maybe like a small bag, like a very small bag, so that when you get that big bag, it feels that much better. You know what I mean? Not even give you a chest rig. Whatever you could fit in your pockets, or maybe a small chest rig, right? Basic things. That's what they should give you. So it's telling us we need a primary weapon, so we're gonna grab this strong ass gun for early game. We need a helmet. We need body armor. We need chest rig. Hit F. Okay. And we also need a backpack. So we have a
Weapons
backpack
and
here.
armor won't be enough. You'll also need plenty of ammo and meds if you want to get back alive.
Now, in this game, they tell you that like you need a certain amount of bullets, or they're like, oh, you don't, like they do tell you, they warn you when you don't have a certain amount of stuff. I even think that's too much. I think that I wouldn't even put that in my game, right? If you go out there with one clip of bullets and no other bullets, that's on you. But most likely it's not gonna matter, because when you go in there and you kill the bots, they have guns and ammo and clips. So you can go in there with one gun, a clip, or one extra clip, get a kill on a bot, take his gun, make it your secondary, take his clips, and be very conservative with the ammo that you have until you extract with stuff and are able to buy more ammo for the guns, the 2 guns that you now have, right? You might not take this, you might not take your secondary that you got off of the bot into the match again the next time. You might just take your primary, leave the second gun in the storage, take all those clips out, leave them in storage, and just keep using your first gun, getting more guns that way, because it's so easy to get guns and so easy to pick up things. And then your first couple extractions, you're going to get stuff. You don't need all of this stuff in the beginning. It's just not, you don't need it. So now we need what else do we need? Magazines in the chest rig. So, you know, I'm not gonna take too many, because we don't need too many, because then if you fill up your chest rig with all your magazines, you just, if you go in and for whatever reason you die, you lose all your magazines. Like you don't need to take them all, especially because you can take this ammo and you can just put this in your pocket, and if you need to refill your clips because you were just dumping mags or whatever, like you can just refill them with bullets. Okay, so what else do we need? First aid kit, bandage in pocket or chest rig, painkillers in pocket or chest rig, first aid kit in pocket or chest. Oh, 2 more. We need 3, so we're gonna put these in the chest rig, keep them all together, right? I guess we'll just stick that in the pocket. I'm just like, I feel like I'm OCD about like things that are like close together. Like if I got 3 here, it's like, oh, it's a thing open here, but it's whatever. We'll put the bandage right here, keep the painkillers in the pocket. Surgical kit, we need a surgical kit. Turn it sideways, stick that in the chest rig. And last but not least, we need more than 3. See, this is the thing that I'm saying. Why do I need more than 3? I don't need more than 3. I don't need more than 3 in the beginning of the game. I just don't. You only need like the one that's in the gun and then the 2, and then that's it. Like I'm not planning on like reloading a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll get another gun in as a secondary, and like you'll get out. You'll be fine. It'll be okay. Okay, so tab back in the lower left.
That should do it. Let's go.
All right.
Remember, this place is dangerous. If you're eliminated in the dark zone, you'll lose everything.
Tap enter the dark zone. Let's go. Normal mode. After choosing the farm, click on choose map. Tap start. All right, you've entered the farm operator. Press M to open the map and see where you are. So we're here, and we have to make it down here. Now these other places, this one is also an extract. I don't understand why. I don't know why it's yellow usually, because there's no prerequisite for exiting here. But some of these other ones have a prerequisite. You can extract without a backpack equipped. So if I drop my backpack, I can extract here. Like if I were to find something around here and I don't want to go all the way to the bottom and I don't need to put it in my backpack, I could put it in like my pocket or whatever, drop my backpack and then extract if I really, really need to. But usually that's not the case. active 10 minutes after the raid start, or pay 1,500 coin, or excuse me, 15,000 coin, to activate the extraction point. So we're gonna head down here, 596 meters away. Press tab to open your backpack and organize your supplies. We're good. All right. Always gotta always be looting. Always be looting things. I do like that they went more hardcore, like, I guess, with the game, rather than making it like not necessarily too easy, but they didn't they didn't do the thing where it's like, oh well, now we don't have any bandages. Now in the Psycho Frontier, my favorite extraction shooter, they didn't have like bandages and surgical kits and stuff like that. It was like a sci-fi style extraction shooter, and it was a little easier. Like, I used to call it Tarkov Light because there was a lot that you didn't have to do, but they have a lot of stuff that is from Tarkov in this game, which I think is good for this game, especially for like a military shooter, so that you're not just running around and, you know, getting shot and then just healing automatically. Like, you have to like stop and like, you know, do surgery on your like wounds and stuff like that, and make sure you stop bleeding so you don't like bleed out on the way to the extraction. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Like, you will get the chance to kill an enemy. You don't need to use up all of the bullets in your gun. You check basically full. I also do like that. Like, I like the immersion, like, in the game, right? I like the immersion in the game where it lets you, you know, like, you have to search through stuff. You don't just open it up and just like yank all the loot out because you're just like super fast at doing it or whatever. Like, it's just, you have to really let me fold this up. You have to really be careful. Like, even doing this, I'm probably only kind of confident because of the fact that, like, I know, like, you don't really run into anybody in the first mission. Like, you run into bots and that's pretty much it. Magazine chamber is full. Okay. But then, like, even later, like, even after your first couple of missions, it feels like you don't really run into anybody, but you get put with humans, and y'all go through like y'all go through doing missions and stuff together, but it feels like you don't really run into enemies. And because when you don't run into enemies, it feels like you're just playing SP Tarkov or SP Tarkov co-op or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where my head is at with playing, especially early game. Is this the same gun? Yes, it is. You'll get med kit, like, it's what I'm saying, yo. You get med kits, you get everything that you need in like the first mission without having to give it to people, because they're gonna loot for it. You know what I'm saying? Going to loot for it. There's a guy right here. Does this have a scope on it? No, this does not have a scope on it. But where the hell did he go? Oh. I'm just gonna use my gun. This gun without no scope on it, kind of stupid. I remember when I used to be like paranoid playing games like this. Like, even if it was only bots, I would be paranoid playing games like this. Even when I first started playing like Fortnite, because you don't get to respawn, right? You get sent back to the lobby, and you have to start over again. Like I still like kind of am careful, even though I'm like I don't worry about like running around too much. I'm still kind of careful, and I'm sure I will have to be much more careful later once I start getting like placed against people. But for now, like you can really just like run around. Like you don't really have to like be super quiet and slow the whole time. You just have to kind of keep your head on a swivel so you don't get like shot by a bot or something like that. But the bots usually don't really have that great of aim anyway, so if they do take a shot at you, you'll hear it, you'll see what, you know, you'll be able to find them in before they take you out. I'm sure there's probably some people up here, or not people but bots up here. I think I hear some footsteps. Can I stand on this? Yeah, I saw somebody right there. How'd I miss this guy? Hey. Less than half. I'm sure there are more people in this area, but I don't think I need to go through there. Just gonna go around. Yeah, I remember where the exfil is. Right over there. Is that a person? That's not a person. Just a block. Stay in the red smoke to extract. They should definitely at least put a bot around here somewhere to hang out, and just to teach you that you need to be head on a swivel at all times, even when you're in the red smoke. Like have like a bot when you, as soon as you hit the hold position, like maybe 2 seconds in, you hear like footsteps run around here and start firing at you. Or something like that, like just to scare you. Like he wouldn't have enough time to kill you necessarily unless you were already like really hurt. But I feel like they should put like an enemy around there just to let you understand that you still need to be careful when you're standing in that smoke, right? For newer players and stuff like that, that people that wouldn't think about that or are not paying attention to that, because it'll escape your mind because of the fact that like you're not thinking about that, especially when every time you extract, you just get out clean. Nobody is camping the spot or anything like that. Teach the players how people really play by using bots in certain specific areas and stuff like that, and have bots like laying down in the grass and crawling around and stuff like that. I think that would be like the best way to utilize bots early in the game to teach people how dirty the game could possibly be. So anyway, if you did like this video, please subscribe, like the video, and I think this was a pretty good video for the first video on exfiltration station, and more videos are to come, and they're all going to be extraction shooter games. So I mean, mostly it's going to be Arena Breakout right now. Later on, maybe if I get to a point where like this game feels too pay to win or something like that, maybe I might switch to a different game. Or if some other game, new extraction shooter comes out and it's good, then I'll like play that game, or maybe I might review. Who knows what I'll do on the channel, but whatever it is, it's all going to be related to extraction shooters. So please do subscribe, send it out to people who are also interested in extraction shooters, and I will greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm out of here. Peace.